Hello. I'm trying something new this morning. I tried to schedule because I had a lot of people come on after last week's live stream saying they wish they had a known, they wished that I had to give some notification or some lead up or something. So this week I'm trying this scheduled thing. Now I'm seeing how that works. So let me know if I'm all on there and everything, and you can hear me good there now. Cyril from Northern Ireland. Pigpen, good morning. Morning, buddy. Morning, Chad. Scott Stapleton is here. If you guys could give me a... And I have... All good? Great. I have my phone on a tripod, so I'm all set up. Much better set up this morning. So we'll see. We already have 18 people coming in. I'm just here setting up to the side. Morning, Edward. How's the weather up there this morning? It's all rain and fog here this morning. Morning, Andrew, Eric, Joel. This morning, I've been down here. Been shipping. Been down here for a few hours now this morning, mostly shipping. Trying to catch up, and then hopefully later today, emails. Got a little bit of welding there to do. Last evening was knife work, and I have a few dandy knives to show you this morning. Just setting up here now. We got a TV here for the shop. And that, well, it's we'll be able to use it, of course, for entertainment if we want, but it's so I can put up, I have developed, I've been using for years now, a real nice spreadsheet so that I have everyone's orders and everything all laid out and the details. And just here, the office is upstairs, so you can't just quickly defer to it. So if I can have it thrown up on the screen, then we can see that full Excel sheet. We can refer to it. So hopefully it'll just make things a little more efficient. That's the goal. And I'm hoping that Starlink holds up for supporting all of these devices. And I'm thinking as well, it's going to be mounted up there on the wall. I'm thinking I'll be able to screencast to there so that I can watch it up on the big screen and see your messages. Because now I'm watching a little tiny phone screen. Not ideal. Good morning, Eric. Getting sunny. Morning, Garrett. Tom, good morning. Central Arkansas. I have a buddy whose family is from Arkansas. Hardy in Nova Scotia, good morning. Yeah, Chad, it is nasty here. The wind's kicking up now. It's just solid fog. I can hardly see anything. Just the first line of trees is what I can see here looking out the window. Then it's just solid fog. Raining cats and dogs in London, Ontario. We got some Brody from Kingston, Ontario. Nice. I've like I said, Saturday's a work day for me, but I like this kind of half-hour live stream check-in, and I love the biggest part of it for me. The biggest benefit is that I get to communicate with you guys directly. Get instant messages. You can message in and. Just really nice, that quick interaction. It's not a comment that's behind, a period of time where you wait. It's not an email where it could be days or weeks, sometimes later. It's immediate. Sporting a new shirt this morning. The goal is to have a merch line up and running real soon. The gear is here, the supplies are here. Just a matter of making that happen and setting up for the marketing and setting up for the web store. But the goal is to have a merch line, shirts, like tees, sweaters, pullover hoodies, hats, a whole line of merch. At one point in time, I did have a small line of merch, and that was good. You guys really ate that up and you liked it, but I just wasn't able to keep up with it. But now with a new facility and new space, allows me new opportunities. Morning, Rama, Ontario. Another Ontario fella. I actually get a lot of orders, quite a high, definitely the highest Canadian percentage of orders from Ontario. I have knives in every single province and territory across Canada, but Ontario is the province where I get the most orders, and then seconded by Alberta. Then would be Newfoundland. Then it would be up in the Northwest Territories, I would say, probably next, and then twinkle down from there. Quebec, I have quite a few knives in Quebec. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, BC, quite a few knives in BC. Definitely exciting. One of the goals here is when I get the store set up. So I'm going to do a store here. We have a room that's going to be set up, and someone visiting local or the local community here, which not really a strong part of my market. But the goal is that you'll be able to come into the building, head to the store room, and it'll just be like a beautiful decked out store, everything done to the nines, and you'll be able to shop kind of like shelf stock, we say. So straps, belts, different leather products, all kinds of branded stuff, my own branded stuff. So that's the goal, and really, really excited about that. But what I was saying, the goal is to get put up a huge world map on the wall, and then pin every location we have a KN Knives product, or a knife specifically, not just merch and things like that, but every place that there is a KN knife, because there aren't too many places now, like major places, that there isn't one of my knives, from Australia to New Zealand to all different parts of Europe. I I would guess I have one in every state now, but I'm not sure. There are certain states that I have, that they tend to go to, that I sell a lot of knives to. But you have at least one or two, I would say, in most of the U.S. states now, which is pretty exciting. Right across Canada, like I said, certain parts of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, just a lot of different places. A few knives in the Middle East, so it's all across there. Tim, that knife is shipped. The shop lion. Oh, funny story. I came down this morning and I could not find her, and she loves living in a box over right here on the side bench. And I looked all around, and when I first got her, some of you guys will know I had a problem with her escaping, so I thought she might be escaped again. Looked high and low. I ended up finding her in a little. I bought a welding cart a week or two ago, and the box is over there, just kind of squat down over by the furnace, waiting to be burned, and that's where she was. I found her. She's down in the bottom of that box, just snuggled in, enjoying the warmth there by the furnace. Just a crazy, crazy cat. Prolonged exposure. Hello. So to go back to you, Tim, where you asked about, just reminded me something I want to mention about shipping. My web store doesn't give like a notification that your item is shipped. I believe there's a way you can do that, but it's a bunch of extra steps. So when you place your order, you submit your order and pay. A lot of times, unless you check in with me, you won't know your order has been shipped until it shows up on your doorstep. So it's definitely like a quirk that I'm trying to work through, and a goal to have solved. But it is a little bit of an issue, or something that's kind of an odd thing. So sometimes guys have been waiting a couple weeks wondering why hasn't my order shipped. So they'll shoot me an email, hey, just wondering why my order hasn't shipped. And then before I can get a chance to respond to their email, they'll email back and say, oh, it actually arrived today. So that's happened quite a few times now. But just those little technicals that we're trying to solve as the business grows. Tim sent a message on your email. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a little behind on emails. That's one of my goals today, is to work through quite a few emails. But some exciting things coming up, some exciting projects, and some exciting knives here on the bench. So one thing I thought I'd do today is show you guys some different a size comparison, because I've had a couple questions lately, and I had a couple questions on last week's live stream about size comparison of some different knives. So I'm going to just set up the table here. I'm gonna lower you guys down, and just to let you know, anything you see here in the next couple minutes should be for sale, I believe. So it probably is listed on the website, and if it's not, you can private contact me for it. So my smallest production pattern is the bake apple, and here it is right here. The knife itself is 6 inches overall. So that's full length, 6 inches. And the most common rendition is in a belt sheath like this. This is a beautiful airbrushed and burnished belt sheath. Now this one is like a layered micarta saber grind. I also do Scandi grind. I've done convex grind. But this is the bake apple. Like I said, 6 inches overall length, and just a lovely user. I probably have a bake apple in every U.S. state, but really cool knife. And like I said, very popular and capable. I'm a big fan of this pattern, but this is what it looks like. And I'll put that up against now my next size pattern, which is the brand new, this is my latest pattern, and that is the EDC Warncliffe. And this is, what is it, 7 3/8 or so overall, I believe. And it wears a saber grind, so a high saber grind. You have that Warncliffe nose, so that's why we call it the Warncliffe. This shape, this turn down shape, and a relatively straight edge is why we call it a Warncliffe. And we have, you see a nice coarse jimping there, beautiful black liner. But this, let's compare it with the bake apple here. So you can see quite a bit larger than the bake apple, just to give you some size reference. Both are a full inch deep at their deepest point. So that would be right here at the midline on each. That's a full inch deep, 1/8 stock. So just, again, to give you some size comparison there. Not within the grain. Let me turn with the grain here. Now the next up from that is the Bushcrafter pattern, which I'm not 100% settled on that name yet, but I've been producing it for several years, and but never really pushing it until this year. But it's been popular this year, and I absolutely love it. But this is the Bushcrafter pattern. Let me grab a ruler right quick. Just hang on. Just to give you guys a little more visual information. So this is a 12-inch ruler. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Chad. Yeah, it's a sweet little pattern, just so nimble in the hand. Nice thin grind. Again, this was meant to be an EDC, and the guy I designed it for, once in a while this will happen. I'll get a custom order for something really unique. And once I get through the design, I say, wow, I think my clientele would really like this. So I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it into production, make it a production model. So this wanted to be like an EDC carry knife, which very nice compact slimline sheath. I love that square nose sheath like that. But we made it as compact as possible to serve as an EDC knife, but also in a kitchen type scenario, or a camp kitchen, or like a tableware knife, and it would serve just awesome in any of those uses. Nice and nimble. Like if you're an electrician, this is a great size knife. Just would work really well as a tradesman knife. But speaking of the tradesman, or actually I'm getting ahead of myself, but so that is the EDC Warncliffe, and then we have this beauty, the Bushcrafter, and it is just over, it's about 8¼ inches overall length. This one's available on the website now. This is just a gorgeous knife, polished tang, and it just feels so good. It's one of those classic line knife Nice high saber grind. This one's wearing a coat, which is just stunning. Nice bright, strong green liner. Look at those lines. This is just a classic knife, just a great do-it-all camp knife. Would make a great hunter skinner. Really nice. Steve, I sure do. Bush, yeah, Chad, I agree. I just put this out as a production pattern. I wanted to get it this out, and I threw the name Bushcrafter on it, but I agree. It needs I'd like to go with a unique local name. So this is a Bushcrafter, and although it's very similar in length to a pattern like the Tuckamore here, um, it's the difference in dimension and why I consider it smaller than the Tuckamore, because it's a leaner knife. So this would make a fantastic knife for anyone, but you notice a little less girth right here in the handle, offers a little more protection right here, but a little leaner for a smaller hand. It would work great. No problem to grab it with a larger hand, but for a female or a young person or something like that would be awesome. Then we move up to the Tuckamore, which is similar in length. And look at this one. This is a Tuckamore in black linen. And although the pictures online don't do it total justice, we have polished copper liners. Look at that. So we have black against the tang, black fiber liners. So we don't have any issues with like galvanic corrosion or anything like that. I wouldn't put the copper, laminated right onto the tang, even though you would have that epoxy barrier. But polished tang, then we have a black fiber liner, then a copper liner, that's a full 16th. And then we go into a black linen, which the camera here is not showing the texture, but quite a bit of texture on that black. Just kind of looks solid or matte black, but it's a lot of hashing from, you see that? Then polished copper pins. This is just a stunning piece, forge finish Scandi grind. But you can see this has a lot more meat in the hand, although quite similar. Yeah, Steve has this Tuckamore with the polished copper, and clearly he likes it. Thanks, Steve. But you can see same length there, about the same length, and both 1 inch deep, but this knife has a lot more meat in the handle. You can just see that design there. All 4 of these are available right now. KyleNoseworthy.com, my website. I just seen a comment there, I believe. Let me just check out. Okay, no, I don't make any foldable knives at this time. I don't do folders. Someday that's going to be a thing, and it's definitely on my goal list, but just don't have the time to make it happen right now. Jim, I don't use stainless steel. I use exclusively O1 steel. Jurassic Woodmark. Sorry about my hand up there, but I'm just scrolling through the comments there. Yeah, I like using local Newfoundland names here, actually, so that's what I would like to call it. Brian, love the Tuckamore with the polished copper. Yeah, it's a really, really attractive knife. Then up from that in size, but right around the same, little bit longer, is the new Tradesman, my second most recent pattern, and you guys are just loving the Tradesman, and I love it too. Just the dimensions, the lines, such a sharp looking knife. As you guys know, it was done to be modeled slightly after, see that, the Benchmade 940. We have some of those similar lines, sweeps, and shapes going on, a few modifications to make it a little better for a fixed blade, but the Tradesman designed for that field. Hard worker, lots of length, just sweet knife. Then you have all those handle facets just to make it such a good looking knife. Cherry red. Let's get you up next to the tuckamore. So you can see there we have a little more length. Oh, that's interesting, Chad. Brody, any desire to bring in a Kydex sheath option? Yeah, absolutely. I worked with Kydex for several years in the initial startup of my knife making career. I did work with Kydex. I don't really like what Kydex does to knives, especially if you have like a real something real nice and you get a little bit of grit down in that sheath. Oh, and you just punch that knife in. I've had that experience just out and everything's dirty and it's damp out and the stuff's sticking. You put your knife in the sheath, a little bit of grit stuck on there, and you just feel it rake up over the blade face. Just it's heartbreaking. Leather doesn't do that. Leather kind of absorbs and cleans and just does a lovely job, whereas Kydex just does a hard job on stuff. Thanks. I like the. I'm glad you guys are appreciating the tradesman. If you 1 second, I have a really sweet tradesman here. Now you can't get a good idea on it because the handle is just in early stages of finishing, very early stages, so it's rough. But this is one Dad put together this week. Again, you can't appreciate the colors, but this is ancient bog oak here, over 5,000-year-old bog oak with a red liner, and that red liner will be this red, very sharp and bright once it's finished. This will be all buff. This will be like a glassy finish. But we have a red liner here, a red spacer down between, separating the 5,000 plus, I believe roughly 5,400-year-old ancient bog oak and Bethlehem olive wood. So a lot of historical significance in both of these pieces. This is not a custom order. If this is not sold privately before it's finished, which might just be finished later today or early this coming week, but if this is not sold privately before then, it'll be listed on the website and available. But this thing is just going to look insane. Sorry, the streaming is grainy, Tim. Good morning, Roy. So, are any of the rest of you guys there experiencing issues with the stream? Let me know. Of course, there's not much I can do, and maybe it's due to the extreme cloud cover, the ceiling there this morning, but not much I can do there right now. We're using satellite internet here, Starlink system, which is really, really nice, but of course you have some limitations from being on a landline. But that tradesman, really cool pattern, and this one is just going to be sweet. Now, up from the tradesman, we're going into the HD series, the heavy duty, and that would be the Prevail. So the Prevail is another one of my production patterns designed for bushcrafter Troy Bullock. So you can see there we're a little over 8.5 inches long, 1 inch deep, 3/16 inch steel. This one's in black palm with a black liner. Not sure if it's available on the website right now, but it is available. I just might not have it posted. But this is just a gorgeous knife, forged finish. But look at that black palm. And like I said, HD series. So we have it's longer than any of the others here on the table, and then that full 3/16 inch thick steel, pretty much indestructible. Again in 01, just a phenomenal steel, but a beast of a knife. Okay, looks like you guys are saying stream's good. I'm happy to hear that. Then we have, so this is another Prevail, again in that flat grind. This is in zebra micarta, orange liners, two brass pins, just a sweet, sweet knife. Okay, let's see here. We also have the Warrior pattern, which is even a little longer than this and a ½ inch deeper. The Warrior is a monster of a knife, but I don't have one here on the bench right now to show you because they tend to sell out pretty quick. Hard to keep Warriors around. They sell very quickly. I believe there's one available on the website right now that I might have upstairs in stock. That is in that gorgeous light wood with the dark band. Just incredible. Thanks, Chad, for chiming in. Yeah, O1 is, I just love it. I've been using it for years. I didn't want to bounce around to different type. Let me get my thinking straight here. Just thinking about other stuff. I didn't want to bounce around through different types of steels and kind of like halfway do it with everything. I wanted to kind of pick one steel and really milk it for what it's worth. And I think O1 is a great steel to do that with. Now, a pattern that I didn't show here that kind of fits in Tuckamore tradesman area in size, but going deep, is a knife that I also have a hard time keeping in stock. They always sell very quickly. But that is the Yellow Fox pattern. And this is one that was just finished, not spoken for. I haven't listed it on the website yet. You can email me if you want. Chad, if you would be so kind, my friend, to write my email in the comments, weederfan.business@gmail.com. But if you have to get the spelling there for people. But you can email me to purchase anything here and we can go through the private route. But look at this Yellow Fox. Just have a look at the lines there. Thank you, Cyril. But look at that gleaming polished tang. Dad's been doing just an incredible job with the finishing here. Look at that. I believe he was down last night and done these. But polished 1/4 inch pin, polished tube. Look at that. And the Yellow Fox just feels so good. Designed to be more in the hunting, skinning realm. This thing would perform phenomenally as a bushcraft knife, camp knife, anything like that coming up this year. Just a wonderful knife that we have 1.5 inches deep. Total depth here at its widest point. Unsharpened back switch, but this is a fully heat-treated steel. So you could technically put an edge. I've had clients do that, put an edge on the back switch, but not intended to be sharpened. And this is a deep flat ground. I do them in Scandi as well, but just sweet. But have a look at this one coming up. Dad put this rendition together. Look at this. So this is the Yellow Fox again, same pattern. Got that deep grind, forge finish blade. So this is like a blackened, almost like a rifle blued, kind of like a mixy finish. See that on the blade? But have a look. Dual tube pins. Red liners. Look at that polish. Oh, that's coming through just right there. It looks like to me on the camera. Can you guys appreciate that polish? Look at those spacers in there. That's like a very deep cherry red. Just a stunner of a knife. But again, this will be listed later on the website if you want to go that way. But chances are I'll get an email to sell one. So if you're interested in purchasing one of these, you can shoot me an email. I don't like putting a gut hook. Dagnar, yeah, I'm still working through the gut hook concept. It's my goal to produce one of those sometime soon. But this design would work well for a gut hook with a few modifications. But it's kind of designed with those lines in mind, but without the gut hook. Thank you, Marcus. Just really, really fine work. Now the last, oh, 1 second, I have something I wanted to show you. I have a pair of bushcrafters here. So you remember thank you, Steve. Remember the bushcrafter I showed earlier? So I have a pair of those. One of these is a custom order about to ship out, but I built an extra one. And this is in a red fusion. So this is mixed with a burl. So you can see the burl mixed in, but they take a real rough burl, they pour it in epoxy and fill all those voids, and they choose the color of epoxy, and then you end up with what's fusion. So it's part wood, you get the wood poking through there, and it's actually a lot more red than red, and it's got a metallic swirl in there. Polished brass, this is all polished tangs. Not getting the contrast on the camera there, but one of these is available if you're interested. But again, this material is pretty pricey to work with, but very, very nice stuff. Now, I'm gonna show you sneak peek of a knife here, but I don't want to give you all the goods. How do I do that? Because I have a very, very nice video coming up on it, so I don't want to give all the spoilers. I hinted at it on last week's live stream. Let me just do some covering up here. So just so I don't show all of it to you guys. This is a deep, deep royal blue stabilized pine cone. Full polished brass scar. This might be the finest creation, one of the finest creations to come out of my shop. Everything is just polished. Just like I said, I don't want to give all of it away to you guys because I want that video series to be more valuable. And then it's going in just, let me just cover up some of this here, but show you some of the leather work. It's getting a scout carry sheath, double row stitching, blue and gold, fully engraved. Again, I'm covering up a lot of that there because I don't want to give anything away at this point. But again, scout carry, look at that. Snap retention, of course, as is needed for scout carry. You kind of got to design your knife for the scout carry. Let me just get one in a sheath here. And these are brand new and very tight. I go extra tight with the retention straps early on, so that when the strap stretches out a little bit, it'll just be a little easier. Look at that. Okay, gotta put it away because I don't want to give away all the goods, but very excited about that. Dagnar, I'm glad that that my videos have provided value for you in the sharpening aspect. I've gotten a few emails like that lately as well. Just like thank you emails telling me that my sharpening content has given you a lot of value. So that's real exciting to know that I can offer that to you guys. But I think I'm going to sign off for here today, unless you guys have some questions. I've really enjoyed reading your guys' comments and showing you some of what's going on here. This is just some stuff coming across the tables this week. A lot of orders shipping out. I hear a big diesel pulling up, I think, so I'm going to have to go. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you sometime real soon.